Hello and welcome to another Raise Your Tribe video. Today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of this game and if I recommend it to the new players out there who are like, hey, this game is early access, I don't know if I should trust it, the reviews are mixed, so I might as well not get it because it's a bad game. Well, no. I'm going to be very honest in this video and I want to tell you guys that this game is amazing, that all the reviews are there, people are just being very pissy, and they need to realize something, that this game was made by a solo developer. Remember, these types of games are expensive and many people have budgets that aren't like $1 million to make a game, okay? This developer has probably had a $500 to $1,000 budget, and with that being said, this game is amazing for what it is, okay? People need to realize that they can't expect miracles from one person. You need to remember that these big companies like Activision or 343, all these big time game developing companies that have 300 people working in their development team, 100 for models and assets and animations, and then 100 for the storytelling, the cutscenes, and the whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, there is just one guy doing all of this. All creativity is put into this by one single person, and you need to realize that you can't expect miracles coming from this one guy, okay? And there are many people out there who are pissy, who are saying the quest system is whack, the animations are terrible, the graphics are bad, that their high-end PCs can't run it, okay? My PC runs this game very good, and if you are aware that you're running a game that is made by Unreal Engine, you need to be prepared that your PC is going to put in the work, because Unreal Engine is a very heavy duty engine when it comes to games, and it does tax a bit on whatever PC or console you're using. So you do need to be aware that this game does require you to have high level specs on your PC. With that being said, another thing is the enemies. I do believe that the enemies could use a lot of work. Okay, the game itself is amazing. There is lots of exploration to do. There is lots of weapons and armor and all these goodies that you could look around the map for, and it's very rewarding. I do believe it's very rewarding experience if you are those who like to see progress in your work. This game is very rewarding, okay? So with that being said, the enemies do need a lot of work, okay? There's been lots of pathfinding updates for the AI. Before, they would get stuck on little objects like a rock on the ground or a log on the ground. They would just stand there and you could just easily pick them off with a melee weapon or your gun. So I do believe that that does hinder the experience of this game, making it seem less enjoyable, because you do feel like you're fighting literally the most robot of a robot AI possible, and there's no challenge to it. You do want a challenging experience to feel like you're actually having to survive in this game, okay? In the beginning, when you do spawn with nothing but the underwear on your butt, it is challenging because these enemies do pack a punch, and then once you start getting your equipment set, they are just literally little flies just flying into your visor of your helmet or something. So I do believe that it would be better if the enemies do level up with you. If you are level 50, say the enemies are level 50, they do gain a buff, more health, more damage, and the lower level you are, the lower level the enemy is, so that you're able to pick them off easier and things like that. I feel like that would be such a big huge update that would make the game so much more enjoyable, because look at this. I'm gonna try and show you guys how the experience to fight these enemies real quick. I'm gonna jump on here. I don't know if they could climb the stairs or not. Look, the stairs were right there. They could have climbed it. Oh, hold up, wait. Never mind then. I thought that they got stuck on the stairs. Let's see what they do here. Okay, they do climb the stairs now. Before they wouldn't. Before they wouldn't. Before they would get stuck on like here, and they would just stand there looking at you, and it was pretty cheesy, because you were like, okay, I could just like farm these guys and just get an infinite XP when they respawn, and that wasn't very rewarding. It felt like you were just cheating here and there. But the developer has worked on the AI path system a lot more, and he has promised that there's going to be a major update to AI and new enemies and new quests and new things. People just need to bear with the developer, okay? He did promise that there will be new updates to the game, and people just need to be patient. People need to do their research before they decide to criticize the game. There is 4 POIs. Okay, no, wait, I'm wrong. There is, yes, there is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 POIs, main POIs. There is this train yard, the military base, the neighborhood, the safe haven, the let's see. I'm missing some. Anyways, there's just little POIs around the map that are nameless, just like houses or gas stations that you could loot around. So there is lots of exploration that can be done, and I do think that the developer should work on the content a bit more, because the quests are a bit whack. You have to find out where you came from, what your origins are, because you are like patient 005, and there's like other patients that you're learning their stories from. The story is pretty interesting once you get to the laboratory in the mountain. It is very interesting. You do get captivated, but it's just very like, it's very cheesy, because you know you're fighting these enemies that aren't even smart or anything, and it's just like you just fly through the quest. I think that the game should be made a little bit more challenging for those hardcore players that do want to challenge. Another thing that I do think he should work on is just a little bit of the game juice, the feel of the game. Like, look, if I am aiming this in, okay, that's pretty cool, right? I could throw the spear, but if you look down, the animation is frozen, and it's not really like something that you should really worry about. But if you're playing with friends and you like want to get the feel of the game, and you just see your friend doing this, it's just pretty goofy, and you're like, okay, what the heck, you know, like this is just a little bit of the game juice that just loses the touch. Look at that. It's just a little like OCD. You just want to get it fixed, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, oh, I don't like it. And another thing is that when you sprint with this and you jump, you're still sprinting. Okay, it's nothing crazy, but hey, again, like I said, it's just the game juice, the game feel. You want the game to be like all these little details to be, you know, touched up on. And that's one thing that we just need to communicate with the developer. There's a Discord server that you could join, and you could go ahead and tell the developer everything that he needs to know, like any bugs, any glitches here and there. Now he's very willing to help the player base. Okay, so you guys just need to communicate with him. Another thing people complain about is the building system. The building system, in my opinion, is very good. You place down items, you get tree, you chop them into planks, and then you build a foundation, you build a base. Nifty. But one thing that I do agree with the people is that you can't rotate the builds. They just face one direction indefinitely. So you press G, you enter build mode, and then you're wanting to build a base. Okay, you add a wall and you want to rotate the wall, but there is no option to rotate the wall. Absolutely no option. I just guess it's just snapped to the axis of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot rotate it whatsoever. So you have this house facing the direction you don't want it to face. And that could be a little bit frustrating, because you want your house to look a specific way, but you can't, because the game is forcing you to place it in the only one direction, and that does get a little bit frustrating. But it's just a detail that only those people that just want a perfect game are gonna stress about. But in reality, it's completely normal. You build a house, you live in it during the night. You're not even gonna be here most of the time, you know. You're just gonna be exploring this and that. So it's not really a big deal to me. But I do understand that there are people that want to build like a nice house or a base for creativity, and they do want to be able to rotate their builds to match wherever they want to put it. I do understand that, but it's not really a big deal to me, you know? I don't know. Another cool idea is all these cyber abilities, all these cyber limbs that you could attach to your player. Look at this, a grapple hook. This is my favorite. Like, how the heck am I going to get up there without the grapple hook? Go ahead and equip that. Boom. Just Spider-Man our way up here. Look at that. Super cool. Now we got the height, and no enemies could damage us up here. Okay? And there are so many other cyber abilities that you could go ahead and equip to your player. Like, I got a double jump, and with this double jump, I get no fall damage when I land. No fall damage. Okay? And that's great, because sometimes you're really up high, and how the heck are you going to get down? You know? So go ahead and get yourself these abilities. You get that by going to the professions, but you level up professions by just playing the game. There used to be a bug where you played the game, and you didn't level up at all, and then you level up randomly, and then you lose the levels. It was just completely tedious, but the developer did fix that. So I do think that this part of the game is super fun. The progression system is very rewarding. Like I said, you get these skill points to be able to unlock new items, furniture, weapons, clothes, things like that. It is very rewarding, and then you're able to craft higher tiered crafting tables to craft all these good weapons and equipment here. And like I said, the game is very rewarding. The crafting system is also very fun. You use a sledgehammer on this, and it's very realistic. I like that a lot. These guys want like a game that's just gonna blow up their computer. Is that what they want? Like, there's DayZ, there's 7 Days to Die, and those games look terrible. I mean, I know they're older, I know they're a lot older, but they just enjoy the game still, and they're just okay with the bad graphics because the game is old. So just be happy with these graphics. That's just a you problem, honestly. Okay, the game is meant to be played, not to be like, oh my goodness, this grass is like ugly, you know? No, just enjoy the game for what it is. Like I said, the developer does need to work on the quests, make it feel more rewarding, make it feel like there's a bit of a challenge. Add more POIs to the map. The map does feel a bit empty. There are lots of just wilderness and just nothing forever and ever, and then just like military base here, neighborhood like 5 miles apart, like super far out, and you just feel like you're just in the middle of absolutely nowhere. So I do feel like the developer should add more POIs, more places to explore, more things like that, more enemies, enemy types, smarter enemies, because the enemies only do like one attack. They do like a melee attack, and then they get stuck on like, I don't know, like a rock in front of you, and then like it'd be cool if the enemy could like do like a spit attack, you know, like a boss, right? You're close to the boss, and then they hit you to get away from them to back up. But then the farther you get, they're gonna do a ranged attack because you're far away, and then they're just gonna hit you with like a bow or some like poison or acid or I don't know, whatever the heck. There should be just designated enemy types, only one that spits acid, one that does melee, one that has a gun, things like that. And then another thing is these rocks right here. Okay, you could farm these rocks basically everywhere now because the developer made that you're able to break these small rocks now. Let's see, where are they? This rock right here, look at that. You just one tap it. Okay, and that's pretty cool because you get some stone now. Instead of running miles and miles to look for one little stone vein, you break it and then look again miles and miles. But one thing that adds to the game juice here is that the fact that you're able to break it in just like one hit. Look at that. You break that big ass rock with just one hit, and that just feels like, what's the point of that? I'm just gonna be running around hulking these rocks, breaking them with one hit. Like, that's crazy. The loot is very easy to get. I think the developer should make the loot a little bit harder to achieve, because all of these materials right here, you could craft like the best items with this materials right here, the best items, and you just farm them from those blue buckets, from those blue bins. You just farm them from those blue bins. Okay, and I think the developer should make it like you need to kill a specific enemy, and he's super hard to kill. Only with the, I don't know, the spear you could kill him because he's immune to like the shotgun, and then you get like those parts to be able to craft this ray gun type of thing. You know, I feel like you shouldn't just be able to like run outside and be like, oh, okay, let me just farm a million of these pipes to be able to craft like the rocket launcher, and then just blow up, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that just add to the feel of the game. I know there's games out there from one developer that are just absolutely amazing and they're like bestsellers, but some people are not as good as others, you know, and you gotta to realize that this guy needs all the support that you could give him, because remember, if you want better updates, you're gonna need to apply and give constructive criticism rather than criticize unconstructively. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I don't know if I missed anything, and if you guys would like to add anything down in the comments below, please feel free to write whatever you would like for the developer or for me. Remember that I am trying to post more videos more frequently of Raise Your Tribe or any other game that you guys would recommend. I'm trying to grow the channel. I guess a small community. I don't really expect much. I don't know. I guess it's just, you know, fun to just be able to wake up, make a video, and then have like people be there like, oh, hey, great video, or oh, you would play this, I'd love to see it, or oh, my friends love your videos, blah 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 blah. I would love to have that little sensation in the back of my head that, oh, there's people out there that enjoy what I do, and I would love to make people enjoy watching my videos. I'm relatively new as well, so I don't really know what to say. I don't have the confidence that I should, you know, basically have. So bear with me, guys. If you don't enjoy my videos, then I'm sorry about that. Let me know what I could do better. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more.